Good morning, everybody. This is Sports Freak from the D, and let's talk real ball. Well, this week is the end of the fourth week of college football, and boy, is it getting interesting. So, what we're going to talk about today is a couple of things: Big Ten, Pac-10, Southeastern Conference, ACC, and I'm going to end it with Tiger Woods and the great comeback of our generation, or maybe not. Anyway, let's start with Stanford's huge comeback against Oregon. Absolutely fantastic. Of course, they were held by absolutely atrocious play calling by Mr. Mario Cristobal of Oregon. Mario it was an ex UM offensive lineman, went on to coach at FIU, and then moved up to Oregon to replace Willie Taggart. Uh, the way he coached that fourth quarter, yeah, it's a fireball offense, but let's give him a chance. Okay, he does have that team on a comeback trail, but it was a tough loss to take, especially when you put those kids in the best position for them to lose the game. Stanford's victory puts Stanford right there in the thick of things for the Pac-10. Pac-10 hasn't had a real strong contender in the last 2 years. Looks like they are going to be the contenders along with Washington. They got a tough game coming up against Notre Dame. That game is important to both of them, but very, very important, especially to Notre Dame. Because Notre Dame has to win that game because it might be the only ranked team they face for the whole season, considering that Florida State might just fall off the map. That could have a lot of bearing on how Notre Dame approaches this game. And if Stanford wins it, because the game is in South Bend, it's going to put them right up there and maybe in the top 4 or 5 in the country and in prime position to go to the playoffs. So that's good for them. Now let's talk about the ACC. The ACC is my conference. The ACC is falling off drastic times. It seems to me anyway, the only good team there is Clemson and everybody else. Miami's a little bit up there, but they still have to prove that they are good, really, really good. Beating Florida State in 2 weeks not really going to prove anything. But the thing that I wanted to talk about is Virginia Tech losing to Old Dominion. Holy cow. Really? Wow. That's all I can say. Wow. Allowing 47 something points. Wow. Nice defense. Clemson. Clemson again. They are the best team in the ACC. They are the ones to challenge for national championship. They're still going in that direction. However, now they're changing quarterbacks. They're going to the freshman Trevor Lawrence. The kid has all the potential in the world. But all I'm saying is, what has Kelly Bryant done to lose that job? Aren't they 3-0? Aren't they beating the heck out of everybody else? What's the difference if you score 40 points or 55? You're still beating the heck out of everybody. What you might do there is just lose Kelly Bryant. Kelly Bryant is the one with more experience. He's the one that's going to get you in a tough situation when you're trading going into the fourth quarter. So why are you putting him on the bench? Okay? That's just my opinion. Debo Sweeney is a lot more of a coach than I am, but just stating my opinion. That's all it is. That's all it is. Now, Oklahoma. You needed overtime to beat Army. Okay, Oklahoma. Go get him, boys. That's not a good victory. Okay? That's not a good victory. Florida State beat NIU. It's a victory, but it's not up there with our greatest victories of all time. Anyway, Alabama. Now we're talking the Southeastern Conference. Boys, the Southeastern Conference is like way ahead of everybody else. I keep thinking of who is going to challenge for the national championship, and I got Alabama, Auburn, Georgia. Those are all Southeastern Conference contenders, huh? Okay, Alabama. They have faced a couple of teams that were supposed to challenge them. Ole Miss. Wow, Ole Miss. Yeah, they gave him a challenge, all right, until the national anthem ended. Then it was no longer a ball game. 66 points later, boom, there it goes. Uh, Jimbo. I thought Jimbo was going to do something to scare Alabama with Texas A&M. Didn't quite work out that way. Alabama proved again that they were the big boy on the block, and it looks that way throughout the rest of the schedule. However, the schedule's not really that easy because they have coming up at LSU November the 3rd. That's at LSU. November the 10th, they're facing number 23 Mississippi State. Again, Mississippi State is okay. All right, they're okay. However, on the 24th of November, it's the big one, the Iron Bowl against Auburn. But this year it's at Tuscaloosa, which makes a world difference. Last year, Auburn beat them at Auburn, but this year it's in Tuscaloosa, which is a big difference. Again, Alabama to me is the team to beat. They're far head and shoulders above everybody else. Now, also this weekend there was an interesting one. Kentucky beat Mississippi State. Yeah, that's a big victory for Kentucky because everybody thought that last week's victory over Florida might have been a fluke. Well, I guess Kentucky's pretty darn good, which makes Florida's loss to them not bad considering that Florida turned around and beat the heck out of Tennessee. And let me tell you about Florida. They're getting better, okay? They learned a lot from that loss last week. They look better this past week. They look like they were the better team from the moment that game started. Okay, they beat Tennessee pretty handily, and let's not forget there's a lot of talent in that Florida team. They're getting better every week, and I kind of like the direction that they're going. Heading into the this weekend coming up, Florida State. Even though they won, they beat NIU. They're still showing a lot of inconsistency. They turned the ball over 4 times. You think you can turn the ball over 4 times? You're going to beat Miami and you're going to beat Clemson and those guys? I don't think so. Not in this world. Heading into Louisville next week, I think they can win at Louisville. Louisville just turned around and they lost this past weekend, so they're nothing. And then the following week, we got to go down to Miami. Ooh, or as we Florida State fans know it, the House of Horrors. Too many things happen when we go down to Miami. But you never know, okay? It is a rivalry game, and usually the underdog gives that team the most trouble. The big game this weekend, and I mean big. How big? Huge, 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 huge. Is Ohio State and Penn State. That's a big showdown. This weekend, it looks fantastic. The winner will be on track to be the Big Ten champion. Okay, the winner still has to tackle with Michigan State and Michigan. Notice I said Michigan State first because Michigan State at least beats winning teams. Michigan is heading in the right direction, though. They've been looking better and better every week. Okay, their first game against Notre Dame, it was not a good-looking game, but they're looking better every week. So Michigan is on the heading in the right direction. However, they still got to beat a winning team, and they still got to beat their rivals, which is Michigan State and Ohio State. Wisconsin, they look better this weekend, but there's still a question mark on them. Nebraska looked like nothing against Michigan, so that's the way it's going to be. The one thing that I wanted to talk about also, excuse me, was the big Tiger comeback. Everybody say, oh, Tiger's back, Tiger's back. I believe so. I believe that he put 4 good rounds, and he made some shots there that reminded you of the Tiger of old. Okay, there were a couple of shots that he made that you said, darn it, man, I remember when he did that about 15 years ago. The other thing that I saw was that right off the bat on the 4th round, he did what he used to do, which he sent a message really quick. He birdied the first hole, and that pretty well told everybody, come and get me, because I'm not giving it away. The thing that disappointed me a little bit was that nobody did that. Nobody went challenge him. He was playing against Rory. Rory didn't do a thing. Rory backed off. Rose was playing in the group in front of him. Rose, shot 72. He needed a birdie in the final hole to win the FedEx Cup. The only ones that really made challenges Ricky Fowler and Herschel. But again, it was too little too late. They were too far back. They shot great final round. I think it was 66 and 65. But they were so far back, they really didn't challenge that bad. Tiger pretty well coasted through the final round. Didn't have to make the necessary shots. Didn't have to make the high-pressure putt or anything like that, which is the way that he used to win before. Nobody really challenged him. The only time he really lost a tournament from somebody coming from behind was the PGA Championship in 2009 when he lost it to the immortal Wai Chen. And that was, I thought that was a lucky thing. And that's my opinion on things coming around. We will be talking again. I will be talking tomorrow about the upcoming playoffs. They're shaping up to be absolutely fantastic. If you notice, everybody's getting their pitching staffs ready. So I will be talking more about the Yankee baseball, Boston, Oakland, and the Yankees, the series and the playoffs in the National League. Until then, guys, have a good day and talk to you all later. Thank you.